Hi, I'm Abigail. Among other things, a circus artist, sailor, and activist. We would like to tell you about how currents came to be, our inspiration, and this 11-year-old dream that is slowly becoming true. Acting for Climate has a new big project called Currents. With 10 years of experience, touring performances and workshops, inspiring people to act for a more sustainable future, we are now going to set sails and travel around the world for 3 years with our performance Currents. In our YouTube series, we share our art, life on board Yggdrasil, sailing, in-depth interviews with artists, activists and climate scientists all over the world, and all the wild ups and downs of sailing around the world with a group of circus artists. Welcome on board our journey. Once upon a time, 11 years ago, I started developing this dream of sailing around the world with a circus performance about climate justice. I had just finished 1 year traveling with an exchange program working on poverty eradication through youth empowerment. I'd seen how big impact we could make by meeting local youth groups, playing performances and hosting workshops. I now wanted to develop a project gathering high-level artists, spreading information on the ongoing climate crisis and climate justice in the most sustainable way. I wanted to travel, exchange and learn from the world, but I wanted to stop flying. So the result was a project where I combined my 3 passions: performing, sailing and climate justice. Acting for Climate is a well-established performing art collective, and we have gained a lot of experience in the field of sustainable touring, combining environmentalism and performing arts. Performing for thousands of people each year and touring by sailboat, bikes, trains, with several different projects. A bit more than 2 years ago, I decided that now it's time to prioritize the dream of sailing around the world. I started searching for artists wild enough to join this adventure, sailing around the world for 3 years. In November 2023, we started residencies in Barcelona. We were working with the incredibly talented, reflected and wonderful artists Christa, Leon, Wout and Emma, as well as Michele, who joined as a joker for the creation of the show. We read books, had long talks about how we envisioned the project to be, as well as sharing our fears. We were developing the performance and the project through several residencies in Le Baladin du Miroir in Belgium, Frikarsmia in Norway, Afuk in Denmark and Kronopis in Barcelona. We were researching and exploring how we can be regenerative as humans and artists, what it means to be native to land, and how we can be a positive force in the world. Some of the books we were inspired by was Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, as well as Ways of Being Alive by Baptiste Morisot. We had talks with a lot of scientists, experts and thinkers that made us reflect on the topics in different ways. We got input from a lot of amazing experts and climate scientists who took the time to meet with us. Political scientist Maria Toft taught us about the importance of collectives in changing social behavior. She thinks that we need to learn to die, to let go of our fear of the unknown, to move towards a better future. Philosopher Per Ingvar Haukeland gave us an introduction to eco-philosophy and reflections on how to relate to the species around us. Professor Rune Jarnø Rasmussen shared his work with Nordic animism, through getting to know our cultural roots and the connection to other species as a part of that. How can we again become native to land? Former Culture Minister of Denmark, author and activist Uffe Elbæk helped us clarify the goals of the project, how to get there, and the importance of hope. As a radical changemaker, he's an inspiration to us on how to make big things reality. Professor Karen O'Brien shared her work on social change. Her book, You Matter More Than You Think, is a continuous inspiration for us in Acting for Climate. It shows that our actions as individuals can change the world. In April, we sailed from El Masnou, close to Barcelona, to Mallorca, where we spent 6 weeks working on the project. We worked closely with Save the Med, an organization working on conservation in the Mediterranean, and Cap de Fiblo, an artist collective working on environmental topics. The residency in EIMA, dance residency space, working with circus director Roberto Magro. Then we moved into Cineo, circus residency space, and afterwards we moved the sailboat from Soyer to Bay of Poyensa to anchor outside the family house of Mar, our good friend and sailor. In Mallorca, we had our first public work in progress sharing. In Cineo, they told us to expect 20 people, but then there was like 250 people showing up. The show was an amazing experience because it showed us that the things we had worked on was interesting for people, and a lot of the feedback after the show was that people were inspired and they read some of the topics we had been talking about into the physical material. Some other people were convincing us to promise that we would contact all the different activists in each place we went to in the future, because they were sure that if we would perform this in front of them, they would be inspired to take more action.